Now we are going to move to mathematics. So this is mathematics. Now, as we said before, the children start mathematics, they have to go through rote counting, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So first term, we are doing actual counting where the children are supposed to count all the way to 30, and then number identification, the children were to identify number 1 to 10. So that was the objective, for them to be able to identify number 1 to 10. And the ones that were able to identify 1 to 10, we move to the other numbers. So we go with the pace of the child, because every child learns in their own pace and they are unique in their own way. So we move with the child with their own pace. All right. So let's look here. So what we are going to do for this week, the children are going to identify number 1 to 10. So this is just the revision for term 1, the work that we did. So term 1, the first week we are going to do this week, we're just going to identify number 1 to 10 for the young ones. And then once this week is done, we are going to move to the other numbers. All right. So when the children identify a number, we don't start with number 1. You start from behind as we move. So this one will enable you to know if a child is able to identify the number, because if you start 1, 2, 3, it's like just number counting. You're just doing in a sequence. So you won't be able to know if a child is able to identify the number. So that's why we start from behind. So during mathematics, we are going to use this worksheet. You call your child, you just point the number. You tell them what number is this. They will say, so this they will say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And then they start again. Now, if a child is not able to identify a number, so when you point the number like this, they're not able to identify. You just put a dot. You put a small dot like this. All right? Then you move to the next number. So when you point the number like this and a child is not able to identify, don't tell them immediately this is number 5. So just point. If they're not able to say, you move to this number. They will say 4. If they're able to say 4, just leave it like that. 3. So any number that the child is not able to identify from 1 to 10, kindly just put a dot. And then once they're done with the ones that are able to identify, you just move. We move to the next number, all right? But the other ones that are not able to identify, you just go. So if this is number 5 and they are not able to identify, you just leave it like that, all right? Or you can just put a line down here so that we know which number we are going to focus on, all right? So if a child is not able to identify number 7, put a dot and put a line here so that we're able to know the number that we are going to concentrate on with the child, all right? So we'll start again. You point, they will say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So that's what we are going to do in number work. And then once they're able to do that, you can just call them, they will say 8. So you can just mix the number 3, 10, 1, 5. So this one helps the children to be able to identify the number. So remember, this week we are focusing on revision for the first term. First term we are learning number identification 1 to 10. All right, and the children that were able to identify, we moved. As I've said, we learn according to the pace of the child. All right. So once the child is able to do this, we move to the writing. So this one I'm going to use it as an example for a book. But remember the young ones are writing on a book. Or if you want, you can print out this one and let them write inside the apples. So once the child is able to identify the numbers, you come and we are going to write number 1. So we write 1. 1, when they are writing number 1, you teach them it's up, down, 1. And then 2, out, in, out, 2. Then number 3, out, in, out, in. So we are going to focus on number 1, 2, 3. So they are going to write number 1, 2, 3. So when they are writing, you encourage them, they start with 1, 2, 3. And then once they have written, you come here for them to identify. So you start, you point and tell them to identify the number. They will say 3, 2, 1. Or then you can say 1, 3, 2. All right, so that's what we are going to do in mathematics. For the whole of week, we are going to follow these steps until we finish revision for number 10, and then we move to other number activities. All right, thank you. All right, now we are going to move to English. So these ones are sounds. We usually introduce small letters to the young ones. We don't start with capital letters. So these ones are called sounds. All right. So during first term, we were doing from sound A to J. So all the kids were supposed to be able to identify sound A to J. All right. And then the ones that were able to identify A to J, we moved to the other sounds. But the main objective was from A to J. All right, so this is the first week that we are starting of the term. We are just going to do revision. The first week we are going to do revision from sound A to J. We do the revision from here to here. All right, so these ones are called sounds. All right, so in English, before we start any writing, we usually go through the sounds with the young ones. So this is sound A. So what we do, we just teach your child, this is sound A. You teach them this is A. So they have to say A, B, K, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, A, V, W, X, Y, Z. Then, once they have done this, you move on to here. So here, this is just a paper that I want to show as an example as a book, but the young ones are going to use their book. So you'll use their book. So once a child is able to identify sound A, they come here when you're guiding them how to write. So you just guide them when they're writing sound A. So we are using this as a book. So you just teach them, they go round, up, down, sound A, sound A. And then once they're able to identify sound B, they come here, they go down, up, and down, sound B, sound B. And then you go to sound K. All right, and then we move to this sound D, D. So when they're learning sound D, you come here, you tell them, just go with a curve, then up, then down. So this is the work that we are going to do tomorrow. All right. Thank you.